So we are talking about this company called as Yasho. So one update in this one. Last week also it entered stage two around this level. So prior to the earnings, it made a move of 9.3% on decent volumes and it broke out from this pattern. This pattern, as we can see, this is kind of a VCP 3T formation, one contraction, two contraction, a third contraction, and then a breakout. And this is small stage one also, and this breakout happened. This week, it moved 19% on high volumes. Like the volume is very high, and it is coming out of a downward sloping channel. Like if I have to draw like this, okay, these two resistance lines and this one, okay. So these were the resistance levels around which the stock tried to move up, but it again went down and finally it crashed like this one. And again, it's trying to move up and it is breaking out of its downward sloping channel, okay. So it has been consolidating for quite a while. So if we can see that from 2023, right? So it has been a kind of 3 years kind of consolidation base. We'll also see on screener. Recently, it has listed on NSE, so we can see a lot less of the share price right now. But we will look into screener as in how things have panned out for this company. And but for before that, we should look into what has happened actually. Okay. So the earnings have come. So due to the earnings, it moved up, say 6.5%. That was the gap up. Post earnings, people realized that okay, this is kind of a massive play. I think due to the con call or something. Next day, on higher volumes, the stock rose like 13%. That was massive, and it is sticking around the highs. So it is extended. So basically, what I'm saying is this is a breakout, a nice breakout, but the breakout is extended and the 200 DMA is still trending downwards. 50 DMA is trying to move up. So what we expect is should have a nice consolidation on the right hand side and then form a base and then continue the breakout. That would be nice. But what it has done, it has crossed the psychological figure of 2000. Okay, 2000 was a big time resistance for this company, it was not able to cross, but right now it has crossed. So we'll have to see what kind of base formation happens on the right hand side and how it further consolidates and form a base and then tries to move, right? But the story is nice. Let's go to screener and then analyze further and let's see what is happening in this name. So we'll go to screener. This is a small company. I think this is one of the smallest companies we are talking right now. 2,400 odd crores company, that is the market cap. The P is kind of not showing the right picture. This is not the right picture, is what I would say upfront to you right now. Okay, because the financials are on a recovery path ultimately, and we are not in a peak right now wherein you will see a great P, right? So that is the case, and there has been a contraction in P because the earnings have been great. I mean, 33% top line growth, 144% bottom line growth, and then operating profit growth is around 33%. So basically, more than 30% growth is kind of very good, and the market has rewarded that thing. And that is why we can say that the P has crashed, right? So the normalized P that is running right now is around 50. So the P has reduced significantly from this part. So people are not seeing actually the P has crashed actually. That is one. The bad part I'll tell you. So the bad part is it's a high debt company. Basically, it has done a massive capex in Pakhajan. That is the facility where it has done a massive capex in last 2 to 3 years. And for that, this company has taken a debt and equity and everything. That is why you can see that the debt to equity is around 1.24. That's high. But the good thing is the management has guided that they are repaying the debt right now. And this year also they have repaid the debt through cash flows. And they are in comfortable position. I think they are around 3.75 times EBITDA. Uh, yeah, they are in 3.75 times the EBITDA. Yeah, this one, 3.7 times EBITDA. And their target is to come down to close to 2.5 times to EBITDA, debt to EBITDA. So within 1 or 2 years, the story is they would retire the debt and debt reduction would happen. So another trigger for this company is debt reduction, which we have not seen in other companies. So basically, when you have a company having large debt, if debt is reduced, then again re-rating happens. Okay, so that is one trigger for this company that is going to happen if this growth continues, right? Next is the operating cash flows. Fantastic. I mean, I always had the complaint from this company that operating cash flow is very bad, and this is not a great company because of that only. And when you see the valuation based on operating cash flow, I mean sub 20 times operating cash flow. I'll show you the operating cash flow. Yeah. So operating cash flow this year they have posted 151 crores. This is fantastic operating cash flow that they have posted, and they have also boasted about this in their PPT as well as in their con call. And this is why you can see that they are able to finance their current capex and their debt and everything. They are able to finance everything because the cash flow is fantastic. 151 crores is the operating cash flow that they have generated in a financial year 26, and that's a very good sign. I mean, they know how to play out all of these things, right? So yeah, coming back to this thing. So number two trigger is the operating cash flow, and based on the operating cash flow, we can say that this is a very nice cushion. So if the company says that they are able to reduce the debt in next 2 years, if there is operating cash flow, yes, they can do it. If the company is saying that they can finance their capacity expansion through internal cash flows, yes, they can do it because there is enough. If they are able to do, say, 50 to 100 crores kind of capital expenditure for next 1 or 2 years, then they can easily finance through internal accruals, right? So that's not an issue. And yeah, this is a great part. Apart from that, return ratios, right? So basically, for any company, say a chemical company at the cycle bottom, the return ratios would be pathetic. Okay, we can see that it's around 9, ROE is around 6. Okay, the number I have is 11, ROE is around 5.69. Okay, these numbers are pathetic. Okay, on the surface it would look pathetic, but below the surface, if you look into, okay, it's kind of expanding. Okay, 11, 12 times, 6 times. Okay, so this is a case of the company where the company is getting on a growth path at the cycle bottom of its business, right? And with respect to all of these, you can see that no growth, no growth, no, no, nothing, 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 negative, negative. Okay. For last 3 years, it was disappointing because the initial few quarters was due to high base. It was such a fast growing company. Let's look into this one. So basically, if you look into this one, right, from this level to this level, okay, it was a massive, massive multi-bagger. So basically, from 100 rupees to 1900, it was a 1920 bagger. Okay, from the IPO, it was a 1920 bagger. Just understand that. Okay, and that was on the base that the company showed massive, massive profit like 359, 600, 672. So the company peaked around that. So within 2 years, it doubled. Okay, but the company like did a 19 bagger. Beyond that, it went into sideways consolidation. Just understand that it is 2022. Okay, it is a 4 years base. In 2022, the price was around 2000. Right now, we are around 2000. So for 4 years, it has done nothing, which means that valuation derating has happened in last 4 years, and that is true. I mean, if you look into this one, 5.6 times. If you look at this one, 2 times. Okay, massive, massive valuation derating has happened. EV to EBITDA, if you see, also massive, massive derating has happened. Sales and margin, it's very nice. I mean, this is continuously very nice. So that is great. If you look into price to book, I mean, at one time, the price to book was around 21 times. It has derated to 3 to 4 times. I mean, this is the case of the valuation derating that we see in a company doing nothing for last 4 years, and suddenly, after back-to-back 35% kind of quarterly growth with highest ever top line and this operating profit, bottom line is not at high because I think, yeah, around this level, okay, right now depreciation is eating into everything. 4 crores was the depreciation. Right now, depreciation is around 14 crores. Interest was around 3 to 4 crores. Interest is around 14 crores. So 28 crores out of 44 crores is going into depreciation and interest only. And earlier, you had everything flowing down. Even 22 crores was yielding 14 crores PAT. 31 crores was giving 18 crores PAT. Right now, 44 crores is giving 12 crores PAT. People would not able to see that actually. Okay, people would see this is an actual expense or something like that. It's not an actual expense actually. It's a non-cash expense. Interest is real. So the company should put a target to retire their debt in next 2 years. I think they have announced already in the con call. Right now, we have had a earnings breakout year where we have 830 crores kind of top line growth. This is not a breakout right now, but we'll see in the future. Operating profit has broken out. Margins are stable. I mean, this is a stable company where the margin would lie in the range of 17-18%. In terms of capacity expansion, if you see from 161 crores of your assets, the assets have increased to 634. 10 crores is ongoing. Almost say it would lie around 640, 650 crores. So they have tripled the assets in last 4 years. Okay, so they have increased their capacity. Right now is the execution time, right? Cash flows I already discussed. This is fantastic. I mean, I'm more than happy to see the cash flow apart from the earnings in this company right now. And days are nice. I mean, they are controlling everything. Everything is in control. These are things. These things are nice, and this is fine. Let's look into the promoters. Reduced a bit. FIs have increased. So Malabar has recently entered in this name. I think around 1900 or something. They have 4.3% stake of this company. I think this is a good timing. The company has turned around in last 2 quarters itself, but they have checked in like 5 quarters prior. I think that is fine. They've also seen a decline up till 1,000 rupees. That's also fine. I mean, that's the peril to have to be a long-term investor. Apart from them, we have certain other investors like Asis Kacholia, like decreased the stake by 50%. This guy stagnant, yeah, like that. All other guys are kind of okay. This guy is kind of increasing, so 1.52%. Again 1.4. So Malpani and family are kind of increasing. So Malpani guys are holding around 3% of the stake in this company. So recently they have checked in. Kacholia and the firm are kind of reducing. Malabar has kind of checked in. Okay, this is the story right now. Okay, now let's look into the con call and we'll see many more great stories in here. So it's kind of a specialty company, not that specialty where the margin is high, specialty where the uh, entry barrier is high ultimately. Okay. So basically, whatever that Phoenix Chemical is doing, Phoenix Chemical is doing a better job than this one because one, they have a plant in the US. Number two, they won't face a tariff issue. Number three is they can target the other markets from there. Number four is they are creating an ecosystem wherein a client comes, they would service, and they would again come back to these guys every time. And lastly, the entry barrier is huge there. I mean, even here also, what I'm saying is in oil and gas specialty segment, it takes at least 2 years for customer qualification to happen. This is such a long cycle. It's not a generic commodity chemical or something like that. And the oil segment is booming right now, and there is a big time demand of oil, as we know. So industrial chemicals is 87%. This is the export-oriented company. Will come down, and one great thing that will happen. I like this one also that a client has come, which has done a 15-year long agreement. So basically, all the capex is being funded by that client. So basically, the client has given an advance of 51 crores, and they are doing the capex in FY27. And when asked about the capital expenditure for the project, the management told there is zero expenditure since the advance will set up the things, right? So basically, this is kind of a model where the customer is paying this company for their plant to be set up and then further ramp up would happen. And this is a 15-year agreement, right? We can see similar agreements being forged in future that shows the pedigree of the promoter and the capability of the company. The trigger to play, number one trigger, as I told, is debt reduction would happen. Number two trigger is your top line, right? So right now your top line is around 840 crores or something, right? So the management has kept the target to reach the top line of 1500 crores. That is doubling the top line in next 2 years, right? So they would double the top line in next 2 years, which means the top line growth would be very high. So if you double the top line in next 2 years, so the revenue CAGR would be more than 35, 36%. So we can expect a very high revenue growth. That is point number two. Number three, how would we reach that point, right? That would be reached through operating leverage. So you can see operating leverage to happen, and due to operating leverage, you could see margin expansion. So they have also told that margin would be in a band of 17 to 19%, and 2 to 3% EBITDA margin expansion might happen. Okay, So they are guiding for 2 to 3% margin expansion to happen. So what we are seeing is number one, debt reduction. Number two, sales growth. Number three, operating leverage. Number four, margin expansion could also happen. And how would that happen? Capacity utilization would increase. So whatever capital expenditure that they have done in FY26, the capacity utilization was around 60%. FY27, they are telling the capacity utilization would be around 75%. FY28 capacity utilization would be around 85 to 90%. So they would run out of their thing, and finally they would be able to deliver 1500 crores kind of top line growth. Okay. So this is the roadmap that we are seeing, and this is the company wherein it fits in all of the check boxes. Ultimately, whatever we want to analyze in a particular company, everything is there in this one, and everything is kind of opaque also. I mean, if people are trying to find out the valuation, people would look into say, oh, it's 90p stock, it's very difficult, right? I would not touch this name like that. So that is the game, right? Okay, let's come down. Growth plan we have discussed, and yeah, all of these things we have already discussed. Yeah, growth would be very high, and volume growth would be 35 to 45%, right? Volume growth is very important, and that is very high. So the current asset that they have created has the potential to reach up to 450 crores, and they have done their expansion at Pakhajan. Pakhajan has a characteristic, right? So the capital expenditure that they have done, right? So only 25% of the land has been used. 75% of the land is vacant, which means that they further have the ability to expand further on the same land, right? They don't have to buy a new land. That's an optionality that I'm saying to you. And regarding further plans, they are doing the R&D. Recently, they have done the expenditure of 25 crores on their R&D facility. So they have set up their R&D facility, and they are looking into molecules wherein if there happens to be a business of at least 50 crores, they would ramp up the molecule, else they would not ramp up the molecule. Okay. FY26 capex was around 75 crores. Out of that, 25 crores went into R&D facility and rest into their current capacity, Pakhajan and elsewhere. FY27, the capital expenditure would be 125 crores, seeing that 150 crores of operating cash flow that they have done. I think they could manage their debt as well as the capital expenditure in FY25 completely through internal accruals. They would not need any debt, right? So everything seems to be lining up, deleveraging, okay, reduction of the debt, right? So basically, right now, the debt has reduced to 3.75 times, as we have seen on my dashboard also. Earlier, it was 4.7 times. That was very high. The market was skeptical. And they are saying that they would also reduce further. And finally, they would land to 2.5 times. And finally, it might keep going downwards. That we'll have to see. Okay, this is there. Uh, they would not be into CDMO and stuff like that. And this is what we have discussed already. And yeah, this is there. Everything is there. Trade deal is positive. Facility done. Perfect. Okay. So this is the whole story in case of Yasho, which seems to be ready right now with a nice breakout after earnings, and this is a nice 4 years base. And again, you can say that this is a nice double bottom formation, like at this point of time and at this point of time. So basically, it is a kind of double bottom, long-term double bottom formation in a Darvas box scenario, right? It is a Darvas box scenario like this, and then it is trying to move over on the right hand side. Right now, it is close to 200 DMA, and then there's a gap, and then it might try to form a base on the right hand side, and likes of that, right? So there's an opportunity ultimately, right? So it's a very small company of 2,400 crores, and then everything seems to be lined up after a second quarter of 35% growth. And we'll have to see how things pan out, and ultimately we'll keep evaluating in future, right? So this would be the last company that we have discussed today, and with such a massive growth plan that we have seen, like for this company, this is kind of doubling of revenues in next 2 years is what we can see. So any company that I have evaluated today is from the lens of say if say 30, 40 or something kind of growth is going to happen or not, right? So that is the overall update when it comes to stage two breakouts and everything about this front that we have discussed till now, right?